What is your role in the EURenOmics project?
I'm Marieke van Meel, Dutch of origin, and I am here because I have patient organizations for nephrotic syndrome patients, an international patient organization. I have a son who has a nephrotic syndrome since about 17 years. He is now 19, so you can imagine that I'm very dedicated to what I'm doing here. A long time ago I decided to erase a patient organization and focus on the international aspect of the disease to make sure that this rare disease, who didn't get too much attention in the international world, would be growing into perspective. And I'm very glad that today I'm here, because it is a milestone for us that it has indeed been successful in getting more attention.
How did you get involved with the EURenOmics project?
Well, that was one of the best stories. I've known Franz Schäfer for a long time, and he phoned me in a very early stage of the project to ask if I would support him in making a chance to get this project to the European level and get accepted. So I said immediately, yes, I can do whatever you want. I will also use all my network facilities to help you to get the money from the European Union and to have a good project. And so we did, and then we have done a very intensive lobby with all stakeholders I know who could contribute by sending a letter to the European Union. And all the national organizations we work with, all my stakeholders did that, and Franz called me on that day that he knew. He said, Marieke, we did it. And I said, well, great. And then he said, and that was very nice, because for me that was an acknowledgement that the work you do is valuable to the researchers. He said, do you want to be in the scientific advisory board being mother? So being a patient representative. So that was, of course, my ultimate dream.
What exactly is NephCure about?
Europe is an international patient organization, but not a traditional one. We have all kind of national nephrotic syndrome groups who in their country are taking care of the patient groups, so they have access to the patient groups and do nationalized issues. We serve as a umbrella organization taking care of the European affairs, which are interesting for them, and we organize all kinds of meetings to discuss what's coming on to them, what we need to know from them to push to the researchers. And we are also a very small foundation. We work with only volunteers, and that means that you are also very vulnerable. What you see internationally is that all the nephrotic syndrome patient groups have no staff. They only have fathers, mothers and patients to do the work. And it is very extremely difficult to maintain sustainability in what you do for the patients.
How does NephCure work?
The national member groups have access to the families that are subscribed to be liaised with the patient organization. So you don't have to expect hundreds of patients in my team, because we have a very small voluntary team. We keep that way, so national organizations take care of national business, and we have the European initiatives. So we make sure that the news coming from the stakeholders from the European level go to the national organizations and back. What I do personally is I am taking care of the worried calls from patients with very severe nephrotic syndromes, and I try to coach the mothers and the patients themselves to what to ask to the doctors, what possibilities are there, and what they can have a helpline if they have a moment of despair.
How does NephCure and how do you spread the news about EURenOmics?
What you see is that I am very active on social media. I have an own website, of course, on which EURenOmics is mentioned, and all newsletters and so on are published. In addition, we have a Twitter account, a Facebook account, in which in all languages I can post information about EURenOmics. What we also do is that the network is given all information coming from EURenOmics, except for publications, because that is far too much to handle as a volunteer. And you have to understand all the work is done in hours in the evening or in the weekends, because I also have to go to work to earn a living. And yeah, we have a very large network that we give the information to about what's happening. And what is very important, of course, is that you make sure that your group, that your audience understands the information. And that is a real effort, because the translation from the EURenOmics research to a understandable level in each of the countries for the patients is an extremely difficult task.
How do you feel about the EURenOmics project?
You know, a project is the result of many hours of investments of many people. Mm-hmm. You see here the databases which have been built. Mm-hmm. The people who dedicated so long of their careers, like Frans, to pursue this. Mm-hmm. There are so many million other things you can research on and get famous with, that it's, for us, it's extraordinary that we have such a dedicated research group. And I was very pleased to see the progress that was made by the individual research teams. There were, of course, some minor things that I thought, well, let's hope that they carry on further. But there were also some outstanding things which really made my stomach go like, it's coming. And that's also what is very important for the patients, is that after all these years of non-new research initiatives, there's something being under research, and that it might lead to new insight and perhaps new medications.
How do you see your own development in the EURenOmics project?
For me personally, I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot about research, about aspects of research, and about why do sometimes beautiful research projects do not go as they go, because science is not developing that fast. So each of the patients is waiting, of course, for new medication, because EURenOmics detected perhaps a new gene, but they are not able to see how complex it is if you have come from new insights in a disease mechanism to new care or new medication.
Does your role in the project help patients to understand research better?
Absolutely. I'm communicating open and fairly without being negative about the project, just being objective and transparent about how this goes. And what I really like is that I, as a patient organization, really have the impression and the feeling that I contribute to a better project. I'm in the scientific advisory board, and we openly discuss our vision towards what could the project do to be a better running project, an improved running project, which will affect a change in healthcare for nephrotic syndrome patients.
What would need to happen for you to say a dream has come true?
Well, a dream can only come true if all that is found comes to the public, to the patients. And being a representative a long time, I know that this dream will need some elaboration on after the project has finished. What would be great if they would add on some proactive new initiatives within the project to think out of the box. And today I heard already some out of the box thinking, which really made me like, yes, please go. And that is first, that the project will be a success, the consortium will stay, that funding can, or the project can be prolonged because of the needs that the project has, and that indeed there will be new initiatives, new small initiatives which might tick upon the curiosity of the researchers. I think it is very necessary that the project gets a follow-up, because this is a good existing infrastructure. Rare kidney diseases and kidney diseases in general lead to increased healthcare needs. Chronic kidney diseases are growing in the European Union, so also healthcare costs are growing. So I think there should be a new initiative Europe-wide to continue this project with another research call.